You're watching Fox Eastern Carolina. Right now, the all-new Fox Eastern Carolina News at 10.
The body of a missing mother is finally found. Clues lead investigators to this field in Jones County. I'm Callins Prosy reporting live on scene for Fox Eastern Carolina News. I'll have your fourth story in just a minute.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brian North.
And I'm Valentina Wilson. Welcome to Fox Eastern Carolina News at 10. It's a case that continues to unravel. A mother missing since last weekend is found dead today. Tonight, a U.S. Marine is in custody in connection with her death. 24-year-old Raul Torres is charged with the murder of Annika Lassiter. The body of the 29-year-old mother from Onslow County was found this afternoon in the woods of Jones County. She had been missing since Saturday after her mom says she did not come home that night. Fox Eastern Carolina's Callins Prosy has been following this story since Lassiter's body was discovered. She has the latest now from the scene.
Val, I'm here live reporting from Highway 58 just outside of Maysville. Now, just a couple hours ago, this place was swarming with crime scene investigators trying to figure out how Lassiter's body ended up just past this field. Now, their first clue is right at my feet, tire tracks leading in and out of the area. Now, Sheriff Brown tells us Annika and Raul did know each other. He didn't say whether they saw each other in person, but they did communicate via email, social networking, and on the phone.
Callins, thanks. And we are told Raul Torres voluntarily came to the sheriff's office several times since Tuesday to be interviewed about this case.
A man who was sentenced to life in prison for a murder in 1975 was set to be paroled thanks to a state Supreme Court decision. But now there's been another 180 in the case. Alfred Jones will stay in prison. Wes Goforth joins us in the newsroom with more details on the latest about face. Wes?
Well, Brian, this case certainly has tested the state's legal system. A man convicted of murder in 1975, sentenced to life in prison. He's been there for 35 years, but he was able to win parole because of a legal loophole. Alfred Jones was convicted of first-degree murder in Lenoir County in 1975 and was sentenced to life in prison. Back then, state law defined a life sentence as only 80 years, and his attorney in the last year argued that combined with good behavior credits, Jones should be eligible for parole. Well, after a legal battle that included a last-minute decision by the governor to keep Jones in prison, the state Supreme Court ruled that he should be released. Now, Jones was set to get out of prison June 27th. That's a month from today. But today, the State Department of Corrections said his parole agreement has been terminated. That decision came because Jones did not comply with several conditions needed for release. He willfully failed to participate in an assigned treatment program. He made inappropriate comments to a prison employee, and at least twice he failed to maintain his work release job. And the next review for parole consideration now for Alfred Jones won't be until May of 2013. Wes Goforth reporting live in the newsroom. Brian, back to you.
All right, thank you, Wes. Jones killed William Turner of Kinston during an attempted robbery back in 1975.
The family of convicted murderer George Hayden spoke exclusively with Fox Eastern Carolina News. They told reporter Carly Swain it was tough seeing the former Belhaven police chief hauled off in handcuffs. They say they still don't believe Hayden shot Marine Sergeant Bill Miller in the back in 1972. Hayden's family describes him as a caring man, a loving father, and a law-abiding citizen. His son Cameron says he believes in his father and still looks up to him.
I became a cop because of my dad. I went in the Marine Corps because of my dad. I went in law enforcement because of my dad. And he is the reason why I do what I do.
Hayden will appeal his life sentence. The woman who was married to both Hayden and Miller, Vicki Babbitt, goes on trial later this year.
Well, a local drug bust in a city results in some police calling for some help by a four-legged friend. New Bern police tell Fox Eastern Carolina News that they were making an arrest as part of an ongoing drug investigation at a home on Hunters Road. Animal control officials actually were called because officers say there was a threatening animal on the scene. We're still learning more details on this case. We'll have more of those details as they become available.
A busy holiday travel weekend here in the east, so could you run into a shower or two on the roads? Chief Meteorologist Skip Waters joins us now with a first look at your Fox Eastern Carolina weather.
More than just showers. There'll be times tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening when we have some big-time thunderstorms out there, and scattered showers and thunderstorms through Friday night, Saturday into Saturday night. Sunday looks much better, and Monday looks great. Tonight, live Doppler, not finding much going on. Some sprinkles and light rain showers from Edgecombe over into Nash County. It was much different earlier in this evening as we had a line of strong to severe thunderstorms work their way down into Northampton and Halifax County, the northern parts of Bertie, and even into northern Martin. It's very interesting. These came down along a thermal boundary back to the west and a wind flow coming out of the east. Once the storms developed, they pretty much moved back to the west, and right now they're moving back up into Virginia. You'll notice a little green line here kind of moving. That's the sea breeze continuing to make its way inland. That means temps are a little bit cooler along the beach, but still it is very warm, very muggy. Some of the inland spots are still at 80, 81 degrees. I'll have your complete forecast coming up in just a bit.
Meanwhile, the Senate Armed Services Committee has voted to repeal the 1993 law known as Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and that will allow gays to serve openly in the military. The 16-12 vote endorses an end to the Clinton-era policy under which gays could serve in the military only if they did not disclose their sexual orientation. The full House plans to pass an identical measure either tonight or Friday. Many House Republicans are strongly against it, saying it will be detrimental to the current dynamic in the military. We'll have a full report on the impact of today's vote a little later in our newscast.
I take responsibility. It is my job to make sure that everything is done to shut this down.
President Obama taking full responsibility for the Gulf oil disaster.
BP temporarily stopped pumping mud into the leak to see if it's actually working, this latest plan, but has since resumed. Fox's Chris Gutierrez reports from Venice, Louisiana.
Fox News.
Now to the contaminated dirt story we've been following all week long. Yesterday we followed the dirt through 4 counties, and today we wanted to know more about the company in charge of dumping the toxic dirt in Jones County. P&F Environmental started hauling out dirt loaded with jet fuel that was dumped on a farm near Trenton. Now state regulators have given the company a notice of violation to remove all the dirt from the property by June 24th. That's about a month. Now, it's right next to the wetlands that flow into the Trent River. We followed one of their trucks yesterday to a property in Edgecombe County. P&F Environmental has had trouble before at the same property. In 2003, the state fined the company more than $4,000 for dumping sewage waste there without a permit. Our own Michael Acquia repeatedly called the company president, Bryant Pridgeon, about the problem in Jones County, but was never able to talk to him.
This is Mike Lacuya at News Channel 12, just trying to get back in touch with you about the dumping of dirt with jet fuel in it in Jones County and where that's going now and how that got there.
State records also show in 2002 the company dumped 5 times more of a contaminated product onto its fields than it was supposed to.
2 fallen heroes honored today in Onslow County. Sheriff's cars lined up outside of Verona Church this morning as a bridge was dedicated to the memory of Stephen Boehm and Jean Thomas. You see family members here. Boehm was an Onslow County Sheriff's deputy. Thomas, a volunteer firefighter with the Verona Department. Both men killed in the line of duty back in June of 2008 at the scene of an accident. Officials say the permanent recognition is just a small honor compared to the sacrifice.
So we're very happy to be part of it. It is a tough situation. The families have lost a loved one, in many cases a provider, and so it's heart-wrenching, but we think it's important to recognize their contribution.
The new bridge is off Highway 17 in Onslow County near the intersection of Highway 17 and also Highway 210.
Researchers from around the world are in Greenville this week to examine the remnants of one of our state's most famous shipwrecks. 80 conservators and scientists who specialize in wet archaeological remains are meeting at ECU to get a first-hand look at the conservation efforts for the Queen Anne's Revenge. That's the historic flagship of Blackbeard's fleet. Researchers from as far away as Australia and Germany are meeting in the East for the first time to review and share their research about shipwreck conservation.
It's also an opportunity for us to learn from them as well and to share that expertise, which will help us better conserve the shipwreck for the people of North Carolina.
It's an archaeological party. The Queen Anne's Revenge Conservation Lab has been at ECU since 2003. The conference will wrap up Friday afternoon.
If you want to see something really interesting, go to nationalgeographicmagazine.com and search for Queen Anne's Revenge, and they have a photo essay in there on that lab at ECU and how basically it's just they hang that stuff up and drip water across it to slowly cleanse it and preserve it. It's very fascinating stuff and neat pictures, and there'll be some water dripping from the sky as we move through the next 48 hours, but your Sunday and your Monday are looking great.
Thanks, Skip. And still ahead on Fox Eastern Carolina News, the 2010 hurricane season forecast is out. We'll tell you how the numbers stack up.
Also, the owners of a dog who attacked a 5-year-old boy learn the fate of their beloved pet.